Hey guys, is this even recording? I don't even know anymore. Please let me know if it is. My life has been so fucked up lately. So as you all know, I have a podcast, JVTV Uncut, and yesterday was a shit show of epic proportions. Let me just tell you, let me go over what happened. I've had problems dropping in and out of my own podcast before. I have no stable source of internet. I'm moving, and in the majority of the places I'm looking at moving into, thankfully, high-speed internet is included in the god-awful rent. So, I mean, that won't be an issue. But it really hasn't been an issue because I've been relying on my phone to do a lot of stuff, mainly my podcast. Hasn't really been too bad before. Yesterday was just a shit show of epic proportions. I highly suggest you listen to it just to hear how bad it is. It was the worst podcast I've ever done. Not because of the material. Me and Eric were on there. Eric, my co-host. Hey, Eric here. He gave a really funny review, by the way, even if you don't like horror movies or the movie in general, High Tension, just to hear his, review and character description alone. I'm going to eventually, well, let me get there. I'm going to put it up on my community page so you can go to his page and see it. So, I feel bad for him. He's a sad sack, so I'm going to give him some views, try to throw some schmeckles his way. Okay, so yesterday, I listened to the podcast and I took Eric's, advice, or I listened to his opinion. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. He probably had just done an eighth of coke at that point, so he didn't think it was that bad. I'm just kidding. He doesn't do drugs. He sniffs cat anuses. That's just his thing. That's his addiction. We don't judge. All right, so he said it's not that bad. I listened to it. This is what you hear. You hear me talking, and then once you hear Eric clear as day. Eric, I hear clear as day. Then you'll hear this thing that sounds like it's me trying to talk. It sounds like The Exorcist. Okay, that's not me talking. I don't know what demonic spirit was invading the airwaves at that point, but that is not me trying to talk. I was listening to what he was saying, and there's something or someone else, something from beyond talking. Okay. So then yesterday I said, Monkey, need a favor. Sexy Monkey was supposed to join the podcast, scheduling conflicts, and I'm so glad he didn't because it was so bad how it turned out that we would have lost some good material. So I said, here's what we're going to do. If for those of you who don't know, myself and Eric had decided a while back that we're going to have Sexy Monkey come on every now and then to review a movie. The first movie of course, we were going to have him review a full-on porn film, but he has to take it seriously. Like, we want to know about dialogue. We want to know about, set dressings and all that. It was hilarious because Monkey doesn't like to swear or use sexually crude language, but to describe what's going on, you're going to laugh regardless. So we couldn't get him on. And then he answered me after that, after this horrible podcast that was all chopped up. And I said, listen, while you're here, I need a fave. Two things. First off, what I want you to do is, can you isolate Eric's review, because he knows how to turn on a computer as opposed to me who just sits there and rocks back and forth and cries until I can find somebody. Wait, can you do it? Can you do it? Can you do it? That's my motto in life. That's how I operate. I don't care anymore. I might as well be an invalid. I don't care. So I said, Monkey, can you isolate his audio so we can at least have that little gem, and I'll give it to Eric. He can put it up on his channel, whatever. So that part of the audio of the podcast, I believe, is done. Again, getting everything together has been an issue, and I found out why today. All right. So then I said, you know what? While I have time and while I have a clear, unobstructed view of the fucking sky and I can stand on my tippy toes and, stop, just keep facing south, because I don't want to move and I want to get this on tape. Monkey, is there a way we can just go ahead, do a video version, just like a treat, video version of my podcast? Eric couldn't do it because he had to cook dinner and that took him 5 hours for some reason we don't understand. But I could get his review of the porn film that I initially picked out, a fine little gem of cinema called Drill Bill. It was a gay porn. He hesitated on doing that. So we're like, okay, fine, cool. You're a homophobe, whatever. Stop looking at me, little bitch. This little suburban girl, I pulled over in the suburbs. She's looking at me like if I wanted to kidnap you, trust me, I'd have the chloroform ready and, make sure your mom wasn't around. Never thought of that before. Okay, so I had him, we did he recorded it on StreamYard. We got it done. He said he could send it to me unlisted and that then I could grab it, download it, put it on my channel. Sounds easy. Well, of course it wouldn't be easy because he couldn't download it yesterday. He didn't know why. There was no option to. He was frazzled because he takes everything very literally. He's very serious in what he does with stuff, and I love him for it. But I know it was driving him crazy. Like that I don't know. He even made a YouTube video for my video saying, how the hell do I do this, essentially? Apparently today that's all solved. He sent it to me. Now I have to grab it, put it up on YouTube, fingers crossed and all that shit. and Eric's thing should be up. So then today I had some work to do. Thank God I needed that cash. So I went over, did some work, and I noticed that my phone, where it'll say 4G LTE or whatever, there's a little ping, like shows you like a little tower icon or something like that. And usually there's something next to it. Well, there wasn't anything next to it this time. There was just a big red, big red circle with a slash through it. It means you're fucked. That's your fuck signal. You're fucked. Fuck you. We don't care about you. Okay, so I'm thinking, just turn the phone on, turn it off, reset. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Everything's fine. No, and then I'm dropping calls. The connection was bad. It was going on and off, on and off. So then what happened was this. I go to T-Mobile, where I see an angry mob of people slowly starting to circle this one store, thinking, uh-oh, this isn't good. Luckily, it's not just me. So I go in there. I get Daphne, or whatever her name was, who was wearing her little COVID mask and all proud of herself and just couldn't be bothered. So I walk up to her on my case. She goes, are you here because, your phone's dropping calls and the internet's, weird? That's exactly why I'm here, sweetheart. There's nothing we can do. Well, thank you. Shit. Can you at least, burn my balls with a lighter while I'm here? If you just want to, give it to me good while you're going to give it to me. You can take my money. That you can do, right? Yeah, but you can't help me. See, there's a tower down, or what's the lie we're going with, Rodrigo? What is it? Tower down? We sticking with that one? Okay, there's a tower down, so there's nothing we can do. And we've told the tower people, hey, there's a tower down. Put the tower back up again. And it's they have to, but it's really hard. And it's going to take a little bit, but there's nothing we can do. So I'm just fucked. If I get a business call or whatever, I get a job offer today, I could be fucked. This might not even go out. I don't know. Yeah. And there's nothing we can do. I know there's absolutely nothing you can do. There actually is. Let us, the angry mob that's slowly forming, take our anger out on you by each giving us 5 good kicks at your ass. How about that? There's something you could do, Tiffany. That's something you could do, Daph. Whatever her fucking name was. Dumb shit who can't help us. So then I'm like, so the tower's down. She goes, yeah, and it's a really main tower too. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? She's like, so usually when they get on that and they fix it, it works again. Say it again. Usually when they get on it and they fix it, it works again, and then the problem will be over. I would have never put that together, Daphne. I would have never how did you, this genius intellect we cannot contain into T-Mobile. You need to start covering and discovering cures for diseases with this fucking mind-blowing IQ. I can't take it. The fuck is wrong with you? Fix the shit. Fix the fucking shit. Fix it now. I pay you guys a buttload of money, more than I fucking should, because I lease this piece of shit, because it's my TV, my computer, and everything in one. I don't got anything else like that. Fix it. Fix it. I don't care if you have to get 50 illegal aliens out there today, I don't know. We don't know nothing about a tower. Fix it, SA. You'll get a green card. We can fix. It's no problem. Come on. They'll have it done in 5 minutes. I don't know who you're having done now. 2 fucking union workers who aren't going to do a goddamn thing the rest of the fucking day. So, the reason I'm also making this video, I shouldn't do a separate video because it's just going to get lost in a rant, but the reason I'm also doing this video, if you've hung in there with me towards the end, is our next podcast, I want to be something special. So we are going to be doing, actually, I have to tell you, there's going to be a special guest taking over my podcast, next podcast. It's not me and Eric. Don't you think that for a second. Dr. Phil and the comedian Monique, who does comedy and needs money and Oprah's a bitch and all that, are going to be taking over the hour or so that the podcast is, and they're going to be taking questions, advice questions from you guys. So if you have a question for Monique or Dr. Phil, please write Dear Monique, Dear Dr. Phil in the comments below with the thing you need advice on. We're just looking for kind of Dear Abby advice questions for the next podcast, which will be in about 2 weeks from now when I get everything worked out. So remember, if you want a question, leave your name. And if you want to leave a fucked up name, that's funny too. If you want to be Jack Off from Jersey or Horror from Washington, D.C., even though that doesn't rhyme. Anything you want to leave. If you want to leave your real name and a real question you have for them, let them give you advice. Monique and Dr. Phil are going to be taking questions, Q&A, all for the next JBTB Uncut podcast that will be done with Wi-Fi as soon as I learn how to steal it from somebody. No, I will. I'm getting everything in order there because I can no longer rely on T-Mobile to even make a phone call. So why not? So yeah, please leave questions for the next podcast down below, and if you want both to chime in on it, let us know. If you want Monique and Phil to chime in on the problem you're having, if you have one or the other that you want specifically to answer, fine. Any way you want it. Hope your day is going better than mine. All right. Have a good one. And don't forget, next podcast, Dr. Phil, Monique the comic are taking over, and they will be taking over my podcast and answering your questions, your love advice, your sex advice, random things. What nursing home do I put my mother-in-law in? I don't like her that much. She doesn't need windows. Just tell me. They're taking all those Q&As. So leave it for who you want to leave it for, either Phil or Monique or both. Underneath here, your question for the next podcast. We're going to be compiling them. All right, I'm going to get out and walk around in circles aimlessly and just scream, I hate the world for a while, because that'll help.